Have my views towards Bitcoin changed? So many of my followers and clients have said to me, well, look, Adam, you seem quite libertarian orientated. So have your views towards Bitcoin actually changed? And we're quite surprised that you are anti-Bitcoin and anti-crypto because we see you as someone who's kind of libertarian in outlook. And it's true, I am libertarian in outlook, which is why I did the video on Doge and the financial industry a few minutes ago. But basically, here is my contention when it comes to Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. I'm actually not against it at all. I actually support the original idea behind Bitcoin, which was like an anti-state, anti-regulation movement. It was a libertarian movement. It wasn't about, making money per se. It was about solving certain things which clearly were wrong. So for example, when I was first introduced to Bitcoin all the way back in 2013, which is much further ago compared to most people hadn't heard about it until 2018 or whatever. Somebody told me, well, look, Adam, imagine if somebody is sanctioned. Imagine you're dealing with somebody who lives, I don't know, in Iran, or you want to help some people in North Korea or wherever. Ultimately, you can't go through the banking system, SWIFT, because of financial regulation. So therefore, crypto and Bitcoin would actually be a good way to help those people. So it's very much at the outset kind of pitched to me as not a financial asset to make money from, but more like an anti-state, anti-regulation kind of movement, a libertarian movement. But my issue with Bitcoin is that recently, many of those same people have celebrated Bitcoin becoming regulated. So it seems like what started as just a means of payment, and it started as kind of a political movement, has become something else. And that's one of my issues with it. And the thing also with Bitcoin you've got to remember is it doesn't have an expected rate of return. So for example, if you are investing in stocks, people forget this, but there is an expected rate of return, which is the dividend yield plus earnings growth. Long term, if you look at, say, the US stock market, there is a correlation between dividend yields and earnings growth. Obviously, short term, stocks could go up or down, but there is an expected return, very long term. Same thing with bonds, also private businesses. If you're buying a private business, you can base it on certain metrics. Like, for example, when I'm buying a financial company or buying into financial companies, which I do, I look at things like recurrent revenue and things like that. Whereas when it comes to Bitcoin, there is no real expected return because it's just like a commodity. So those are my issues with Bitcoin. So I'm not against the concept of Bitcoin. In fact, I support the original idea behind Bitcoin, but I think the way it's used increasingly is actually completely different to the way it was actually expected to be used by the early advocates. It was actually not supposed to be an investment. It was actually supposed to be more like a movement, a political movement, which was anti-state, anti-regulation, and so on and so forth. But it's become something very different.